The Women's Liveability Assessment Tool is an online guided self-assessment for predominantly community housing providers. It helps organisations map and look at practical solutions to improve gender-responsive housing. The framework was developed by YWCA Australia, looking at and finding our research from women-led literature as well as women with lived experience of family, domestic violence, housing insecurity and homelessness. The idea behind the Women's Liveability Assessment Tool was to implement practical solutions, improvements that we're able to offer to community housing providers, a better level of service to women-led families, gender diverse people within community housing spaces.
Following on from the Women's Liveability Assessment Tool, we've now progressed to our own design guidelines for women's housing. The design guidelines will provide practical examples of what we can do to design within development projects for women's housing.
We know that women have different housing needs. Quite often they'll be a primary carer of children. With the feedback that we'd received from women with lived experience of housing insecurity and homelessness, it was important for them to have line of sight within their properties, open facades and frontage of a property, so that when they were coming home there was no spaces for somebody to be hiding, and then when they're in the home they're safe, secure, they've got line of sight to all of their children and to know that they're in their safe space.
Ongoing, then YWCA will then evaluate with our residents that live in these homes to really understand the impact of these design guidelines have on them and their wellbeing. So over time, the design guidelines may also be adapted and changed and improved upon.
We want to ensure that it's not just YWCA that's able to provide gender-responsive housing, and so if we can impart the information and knowledge that we've learnt through our women's housing framework to other service providers to help them improve the level of service offered to their clients, we're happy to help where we can.
So the value for others to use our tool is really to understand the cohort that you're housing and really lean into those domains of impact of safety and security, health and wellbeing, agency and participation and connection. So again, the tenants can thrive for their future.